Hi Gemini, welcome to your July 2023 Astro-Tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Also worth mentioning, I use tropical whole sign Western astrology, and if you're going to just watch one of these, I do advise that it's going to be your ascendant, because these are based on the astrology. It's likely to be the most accurate for you on that day-to-day level. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So I'm doing something new. From now on, I'm going to include the themes of the month for you. So let me know if you love it. Let me know if you like this little extra tidbit. It is very, very short. So your themes for the month are communications and connections of a business matter, of a business sort of mind, and also home and past issues. So home and family and past issues, etc. Now, with that said, the first transit that I would like to look at is on July the 1st, Venus is going to square Uranus. This is a big deal for all of us, but this is happening for you across the 12th house, that's where Uranus is, and the 3rd house, which is where Venus is over in Leo. So this is some literal, for you guys, this is some kind of literal past communication and or connection. It doesn't have to be a love connection. It could be, because it's Venus, but it could just as easily represent your, someone or something from the past that actually wants to bring you a blessing. Now, Venus is the minor benefic in the zodiac. And in the house, or should I say in the 12th house, this is intangible. So this could be literally a month where you get some kind of payout or blessing that comes back to you, because Venus is going to be in that space for 4 months. So a lot of the good things you've put out into the world are making their way back to you at this time. So for the here and now, though, this could literally be some kind of past communication. It could just as easily be a creative contract. I do wonder as well, because Venus rules your 12th and your 5th house, if you're on a dating app, it might be through there. Maybe this is like, like sometimes you meet someone, you have a really good talk, and then like they disappear and you never hear from them again. Or maybe you've been that person, that someone was kind of like, I thought we had this amazing connection, I never heard from them again. We've all been there. So I love this as well for you, like on the broader reach or the wider world stage. It might be an idea that you realize will take you a long time to set up, but you're excited to get on it right away. But there's something, it's almost like it takes more time than you anticipate. You think it's going to be like this straight path forward, and it's like, yes, because Gemini, your energy is quick, it's fast and vibrant. You might have in mind that that's how this is going to happen for you, and there might be delays and challenges along the daily sort of path to that. Now, there's potentially something here with grandparents, gurus and or teachers as well, so watch out for that. And for a select few of you, this might be a connection to somebody in your local area who is from a place that is like abroad, or is from like a really different sort of background or environment to you, that actually is quite an exciting connection. So also, this is a day for really setting something into motion. And the reason I say that is because there's a grand fire trine that's happening on this day. Fire trines are all about action, right? So you've got to put this into something to do something with it. For this, you have the Devil card. You got the Death card. Okay, I like this, with the Knight of Pentacles. I actually really like this triplet for this transit, and the reason being, these two could literally be you getting rid of a bad habit. So maybe, just going to call a spade here. I love my Gemini people, but you guys do tend to flit around, and sometimes it's a bit jumbled and a bit all over the place. This actually tells me that this transit, this Venus square Uranus, while it is potentially going to be a little bit disruptive, it does suggest that because the 3rd house is a house that you have a lot of affinity with, right? And it's our skills, the things that we do with our hands, the knowledge that we have, and how we actually apply that to what's happening on a day-to-day level. This suggests to me that you are building solid future plans, but rather than it being like, I'm going to do a bit of this, going to do a bit of this, it's like you lay it out and you really start to rein yourself in some way. So I love that. On the 11th of July, Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to enter Leo, which is coming into your third house. Now, Mercury already has, you are Mercury, right? And it already has an affinity to the third house, because the third house is actually the space in which Gemini and energy really flourishes, right? It's your energy. So this is technically your house. So your ruling planet comes into the house that is most significant for you, that you have the most, energy with. Communications, websites, phone calls, emails, text messages, technology, your phone, fun, flirtatiousness. All of these things are going to take a massive upswing. You are going to be busy for the 4 weeks that follow this transit. Your inbox is going to be lit up for the next few weeks. Expect to be really busy with connections, events, potentially a lot of this as well, either happening at home or with home and or properties in general. And it might also be for a select few of you. It's either that it's like, this might be a great time for you to launch a sale of something or to share something beautiful with the world. It's a really great moment to communicate your own needs and desires, right? This is about really showing people and amplifying, this is the skill set that I have. This is what's brilliant about me. Here's how I can help you. So if you've got your own business, this could be fantastic. And if you work for somebody else, you're employed by somebody else, this could still be fantastic for you, because you and your skill set are absolutely on fire. Love it. For this, you've got the 9 of Pentacles. So you already have the gift of the gab, but this could be like to the next level. You've got this with the Page of Cups. So you are creating something new here. And Leo is a very creative sign. A very expressively creative sign. And then you've got the Emperor. So if you are single, you are very likely to be meeting someone or connecting somebody that's in your local environment. You're talking to somebody, and even if you meet them on an app, it might be that they say to you, oh yeah, I live here, and you're like, oh my God, that's like literally just round the corner. I love this for you because it's exciting, it's energetic. The Emperor card usually suggests, it's like the husband card, right, in a woman's spread. Excuse me. For those of you that are business owner, for those of you that are partnered or married or already in a relationship, this is just you and your partner, like you're speaking the same language. It's fun, it's flirtatious, it's sexy. It's just, where you get back to that childish kind of silly, playful energy within your relationship. Your communications, especially with potentially as well for all of you, your communications with institutions or people in positions of authority or power that can help you are absolutely ace at the minute, all right? So on July the 20th, now this one in particular, you're going to feel it coming about a week before it actually hits, but it comes exact on the 20th of July. Mars is going to oppose Saturn. This is going to happen across the Virgo Pisces axis, right? So for you, this is happening across the 4th house of home, property, family, real estate, and the 10th house of career, social standing, social status, how you show up in the world, your legacy out in the world that you're leaving behind, how your work speaks for you, how people greet you, right? So to give you an example, Radiant Reality is me doing my 10th house, okay? So, excuse me, the home and family sector versus the career sector, and this is the conundrum. Because it's an opposition, there's no getting out of this. There's a tug of war between Mars and Saturn, which is happening in angular houses for you, which means this is likely to be quite intense. You'll feel it come in, like I said, for a week before, but it becomes exact here. What's important to note is there is an impasse. There's something that you won't be able to. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air signs are quick. They're clever. They always manage to find a loophole or some quick workaround where they can sidestep things. You don't have that luxury with this transit, not with Saturn involved. Saturn is a reality check. Mars is a you act now, right? Like, so there's no getting around this. Now, your career has steadily been demanding a lot more from you recently, and for what maybe in some regards probably feels like a little bit of, you know, well, I've put in all of this work, but the rewards haven't been so great. Whereas your home life has just gotten busier, louder, maybe more emotional clearing phase as well for some of you, seems to have ratcheted up a notch, especially because of that Mars in the fourth, right? So this connection basically says that you've got a hard decision to make about what you're taking with you and what you're ready to let go of, right? And so this could be, right, I need to set firmer boundaries with the family so that I can do this work thing, or maybe actually I need to scale back what I'm doing with work so that I can pay more attention to what's happening on the home front. For this, you have the Moon card, very interesting, right? The Moon and the Fool have been very active for this Saturn Mars opposition. And I'm intrigued by this because it means that something on the wider world stage is going to hit. And I always pay attention to this when it comes to Aries and when it comes to Gemini. Aries, because it's kind of the birth of the zodiac. So whatever happens there is likely to happen, you know, we see it on the world stage. Gemini, because your sign rules the media. So we're likely to see this theme play out. Now, with the Moon card, it suggests that something from the past is going to be reactivated or exacerbated in some way, shape or form. Then we've got the Ace of Wands, which has a very similar energy actually to the Fool, and the Fool card was the other card that kept coming up in this around this triplet, which tells me that something from the past is going to be renewed or refreshed, or is going to be exacerbated to the point where it won't be able to be ignored anymore. And for this, we've got the Six of Cups, right? So for you personally, this is definitely something or someone from your past that comes in here. Now, what's interesting about this is this is going to be someone that you connect with, reconnect with. I feel like this will be a childhood friend. It will be somebody that you were really close to in your younger years as a teenager, maybe even earlier than that, maybe that you haven't seen for a very long time. And it's kind of like this feeling that you're almost like giving rise to a version of you that has either been asleep or has maybe not had as much sort of airtime. You know, that's how I kind of see it. We all have different aspects of our personality that we kind of subdue because, you know, you've got to be one way at work and you've got to I dropped all of that a while ago because that's like, you know, self-imposed schizophrenia. It just doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Just be who you are. The right people will love you and the people that aren't for you will dissipate and disappear. And, you know, that's really what we want ultimately. The Ace of Wands, that's you connecting to or creating a brand new sense of self. But it has an element of echoing who you used to be. So there's something here, and this could be from your personal childhood, especially with that Six of Cups here, and especially with the Moon card, because that's like the deep past. So this could be, I don't know, maybe you go to your parents' house and you find an old diary from when you were like 12. You read through it and you're like, oh my God, I was a fucking genius. You know, what happened? I've read back over some of the stuff that I wrote when I was younger. It's like, oh my God, I wish I could go back and nurture this kid. He was amazing. And then I remember that I'm still amazing. Jokes aside, this could be you bringing some version of you back into the fore and saying, right, I'm going to not squash, but manage the emotional stuff in the fourth house. And I'm going to use that as a platform to propel myself into that 10th house of my career. So the fourth transit that I want to look at is on the 23rd of July, Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to square Uranus in your 12th house. But what's interesting here is that Venus goes retrograde on the very same day. So this day in general is going to be quite intense. Now, this is important for a few reasons. One, because obviously it involves Mercury, which is your ruling planet. But two, because Uranus has been called, certainly in modern astrological terms, it's been called the higher octave of Mercury, right? And interestingly enough, Mercury exalts in Aquarius in the modern system of astrology, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, right? So really interesting point there. Don't be surprised if people that you lived with or near when you were younger sort of resurface in some way. I also think this might be a time where you plan in trips, retreats, especially to places that you've already visited once before. It might also be that your time is in more demand at the moment. And I'm sorry to say that the past is alive and kicking for some of you, because the ruler of your past, Venus, is now retrograde until early September. So this is you running into people that you haven't seen for a long time in person, right? The chance to understand your relationships and your connections and even your hang-ups around these things at a much deeper level is possible for you now. You might look at something and see a new truth. It's also fair to say that you might get you might be more subjective at this time, especially until Venus kind of goes direct. For this, you've got the Ten of Cups with the Eight of Swords, okay, and the Judgment card. If you are willing to look and have the hard conversations with yourself, if you're willing to reconnect to parts of your previous self and or history and to really unpack it, the advancement that can find you here is incredible. There are likely to be communications that potentially kind of shock and awe you, but there is also a potential here for something big to change in your life, especially at the end of this month. Especially because those activations for you are going to be quite powerful, and because previous to that, on the 20th, like I said, you're having that massive opposition which is going to set up a big sort of square energy for you as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And then finally, I also forgot to say, if you are celebrating this month, happy damn birthday to you. I truly hope you have a wonderful solar return and that you fill the day of your birthday with a little bit of all of those good things that you want to have in your life. Now, for your moons, on July the 3rd, we have the Capricorn full moon. That is going to be at 11 degrees of Capricorn. And this for you is happening in your 8th house, right? So other people's money, finances and resources, but also your deepest desires and motivations, your primal urges and instincts, sex, sensuality, death, all of the taboo, like the sticky stuff. That's what we find in the 8th house. And, you know, a full moon in that space could highlight to you some really powerful, deep desire that hasn't been spoken out into the world yet or hasn't been given enough airtime. And this Gate 2 direct card basically says, by accepting all of it, by accepting all of who you are, your deepest desires, your darkest or dirtiest fantasies, by really just embracing all of who you actually are, shining that cosmic light of the full moon into your... it's kind of like... sometimes I really have to stop myself with the stuff that's about to come out of my mouth. What I was going to say is... this is kind of like someone shining a light into your underwear drawer, right? And everyone keeps all kinds of stuff in there. So who knows? Whatever's in yours, it's about accepting what is there and what you feel to put in that space, if that makes sense. I think my cheeks are starting to go red. How to embarrass yourself and potentially end your career on YouTube. For the Cancer new moon that falls in your 2nd house of money, finances and resources. This is a fresh start when it comes to your money. So if the 8th house is other people's money and passive income as well, right? Your 2nd house is your money, your earnings, your savings, your possessions and your values. And you've got the Gate 46 and serendipity. This new moon has the potential to open up a portal or at least highlight a gateway of some sort that can really lead you to financial blessings, providing you're open to just following the breadcrumbs. This is something that you guys are really good at anyway, because Gemini has that very happy-go-lucky kind of energy. All in all, I actually think this could be a great birthday month for a lot of you. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.